Hi, I'm Haley Probus, and this is my persuasive speech on how I think that PE should be mandatory for all 12 years of school. First, PE is only an hour a day out of the whole schedule, and sometimes it's less than that. And PE can benefit children in so many ways. It can help improve their grades because they're more attentive. It can help reduce the childhood obesity rates, and it can help those who are obese maybe, get into healthier lifestyles. And children who have mandatory PE are usually, smarter because they're more attentive and more active in what they're doing. And those states that do require mandatory PE have higher grades as well. They have higher attendance and they have higher test scores. And the whole thing, it's only 1 hour out of your whole day. And it can help benefit children in so many ways. The grades, that is a big factor, because if students are more attentive, then they will have higher grades and they'll do better in school, because if they're tired and they're sitting in class and they're bored, then they're not going to pay attention and they're not going to have very good grades. But if they're more attentive, PE can help them become more attentive because it makes them get awake. If you're active, you're obviously got to have energy for it. Most of the time, kids have a lot of energy, and if they channel that energy towards PE, that can help their grades, because when they come back to class, they're not going to be tired, they're not going to be worn out, they're still going to have some of that leftover energy, and they can use that for PE. And physical activity benefits young children, of course. It will help them to have a healthier lifestyle. Childhood obesity rates are really soaring throughout the country, especially in the South. Kentucky is the 5th fattest state currently. Mississippi has been the first fattest state for about 6 years now. They've been there for a while, and they don't require PE. It's in the core content for elementary schools and some middle schools, but in high school it's not really required there. And 25% of their population will become obese. That's just how it is down there. The way they eat their food, and it's like that here too. We have a lot of good food like fried chicken and milkshakes that everyone really likes, but that can contribute to obesity. We are the 5th fattest state. We were the 7th, but now we're the 5th in the country, and PE isn't required all through high school here. We have about 1 credit, I think, for high school. My high school, we only needed to take PE 1 year. And it was an elective. You could take it if you wanted. I took it. I took weightlifting, and I took other PE classes like nutritional science and stuff because I wanted to. But a lot of kids, they didn't want to, so they didn't take it. But PE helped me a lot because it helped me stay healthy. And in states like Washington State and Colorado is ranked the 1st fittest state in the country, and Washington State is in the top 10, and they have mandatory PE all 12 grades. I am from Washington State. I have lived here for 4 years, and I lived there for 4 years. And seeing the 2 different states and how the PEs are different and how the people are different really made me want to do this speech. In Washington, from 1 through 12th grade, you had to have PE. It was required for a full year, and it was an hour a day. And how it worked was, in elementary school, it was just, basic stuff. And then when you got to middle school, you had 3 days of activities like lacrosse or weightlifting, and then 2 days of conditioning. We would do a lot of cardio. It was pretty much all it was cardio. And we were the 2nd fittest city in the country, Seattle, Washington, for 3 years in a row. And it was, people were very fit, very active out there, and it was very competitive. We had one of the best cross-country teams in the state. And also, academically speaking, the content was harder. The curriculum was harder. We were doing so many hard things in science classes that we didn't even do in a high school at all. And the test scores were higher, the curriculum was more advanced. And when I actually did move here, I had already taken all the classes when I got to high school. So I had the opportunity to skip those because I had already taken them. But I didn't take that chance because I wanted to do all 4 years. But what I'm saying is PE can help grades because, students who are more active in PE are more active in school. And where I'm from in Washington, when you got to high school, you got to pick what kind of PE class you wanted. You could pick from lacrosse or weightlifting or, swimming was an option, and even nutritional science and personal training. They had personal trainers there that could teach you. It was a really big deal. PE fitness was a really big deal, really big part of the lifestyle out there. And that's maybe one of the reasons why Seattle was the fittest city, or the second fittest city, for so long. And children, who come from obese families are more likely to become obese themselves. I think it's a 75% chance of becoming obese if your parents are obese. And, if they don't have any reinforcement of healthy lifestyles, then how are they ever going to know? And PE can help that. PE can help these children become healthier. If it's required all through school, it becomes a part of their life. It becomes something they have to do. And, eventually they're going to catch on that, hey, I can be healthy if I do this. I don't have to be obese like my family. And students who have mandatory PE, they just, they have more energy, like I said before. They have more energy, they're more focused, and it has something to look forward to. Sports is a good way to channel energy. A lot of students really look forward to after school activities, like sports. They can channel all their energy into it and give it 100%. PE can be that chance for some students who, aren't really good at sports but like to exercise. That can be a good opportunity for them. PE should be required in all 12 years of high school, if you ask me, because it helps raise grades, it helps prevent obese and unhealthy lifestyles, and helps, better lifestyles. It helps so many things. And if students have to take PE in high school and all throughout their grades, and they will be, they'll be healthier. They'll have healthier lifestyles. They won't have to necessarily follow in their family's footsteps if they come from a big family. I personally, a lot of not my immediate family, but my cousins and aunts, they're really kind of overweight, and I was going down that path. I was overweight. But then, and when I got to PE in Washington, it really helped me because I was behind. I came from Georgia before that, and in Georgia a lot of people are bigger, but in Washington hardly anyone was. There was 3 big ones in the whole class, and we had 90 people in our PE class, 30 from each grade. And I was behind. I couldn't keep up with all of them. I wanted to change. I wanted to be healthier. I just didn't know how. PE helped me with that because where I come from, it was so competitive. People made it competitive, like, oh, I'm going to run my mile faster than you. And we had standardized mile tests, or we had to run a mile in 12 minutes. And we had to do 2 miles in 24 minutes. And if we didn't pass them, we were considered below average. And no one wanted to be considered below average. It was very competitive. I couldn't finish in 12 minutes in 7th grade. I couldn't do it because I was too big. Well, the following year, I proceeded to lose 30 pounds, and I finished in enough time. I finished my 2 mile in enough time, and a lot of the things we did were group-oriented, and everyone wanted to win. Everyone wanted to come in first. So that competitiveness, made me want to do better, and I didn't know how to lose weight. I didn't know how. PE helped me do that. PE helped me become, healthier. It helped my life. It helped me change. It helped me learn how to eat healthier. We actually had PE homework where we had to write down on the weekends. We had to take an hour a day of our weekends and do something active. Either take a walk or go on a swim or something. We had to do it. We had to get our parents to sign it. And that helped me a lot too because, people were competitive in grades out there too in Washington. You had to have good grades. You had to do well. And I didn't want to be that person that didn't succeed and didn't, be up to everyone else's level. So that helped me. PE helped me become healthier. It helped me have a better lifestyle. It's probably one of the reasons why I'm trying to get my certification to be a personal trainer now. It's like I learned so much from my PE classes on how to be healthy, how to exercise the right way. We had so many tests. We had strength tests, we had pull-up tests, push-up tests. We had crutches, all these different kind of exercises we had to do certain amounts of, and we had to meet. And it was so fun to see how different the results were from the first time we did them to the last time. And that was something, everyone wanted to improve on. They even taught us how to take our heart rate and how to figure that out. And I still use that today. I still use that, how to figure out my heart rate today. And, I learned so many valuable skills from my PE class. And if it wasn't mandatory, then I would never have known. I would never have learned these skills. I probably wouldn't even be where I am today if I hadn't have had PE required and pushed me. And, it helped me a lot. I think it can help a lot of young kids that were like me a lot. It can help them strive to be better, and it can help them strive to be healthier. And I just, he helped me. He almost in a way influenced how I am today. So that's my speech.